Okay, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to render in ambient occlusion mode, just as the assignment required. So basically, what ambient occlusion render is just a black and white picture. Okay, so if I show you this is what basically an ambient occlusion render is. Okay, so it's a black and white picture that is used often for games and also film. Okay, so what it does is it will enhance the realism render that is happening in your scene. So the reason why there is this black shading or shadow is that when the object of the surface are close together, right, it will create this, a nice shading happening. Okay, so this is another example, right, and this is what we want for your first CA. Now I'm gonna switch to Photoshop. Now in this example, I'm gonna hide this. This is my render. Okay, you don't have to do this for your CA1. Okay, so what we want is we want to render an AO pass, which is just black and white picture. Now, the way this AO pass is being actually used in the practical example. So first you have your render like this. Okay, then we're gonna be placing the AO render, and we're gonna change its mode to maybe some multiply, right? So this is after you're applying the AO, and if I hide this, watch what happens around this area. Okay, so it become pretty dark when you apply. So if you hide this AO, this is kind of brighter, which is incorrect. So the AO kind of help you with the result. Okay, and you can also tweak. So right now having this 100% is a bit too much, so you can kind of reduce the opacity of this AO render. Okay, as I mentioned again, you don't have to render this one out. So what you have to do, just render the AO just like this, and then you submit as part of your CA. Okay, so let's go back to Maya. Now, in this scene, I have some object, okay, that I'm going to be rendering in ambient occlusion mode. So all you have to do, just select everything in the scene, and then you right click, then go to assign new material, right? But this time I'm going to be choosing Arnold and AI ambient occlusion. Okay, so what it does is it will place a new shading, which is the white shading, and the engine will render that shadow automatically for you. Okay, so if I go to render view and I render, I'll get something like this. Okay, so it's easily done. Now, the idea of this render is that you have to make sure like you render accordingly to the assignment. Okay, because if you look at your render now, it's a little bit noisy. Okay, if you zoom in here, there is this little dot pattern, and that's what we call noise. Okay, so later for your submission, you probably want to increase the quality. Okay, so let's press Ctrl A. Okay, so this will open up my channel box, and you go to the ambient occlusion tab. Okay, so the sample attribute here, right, responsible for quality. So if you put the higher value, maybe like 256, right, this will eliminate this noise. Okay, right now I'm just gonna be putting like maybe 16, and hopefully I can see the difference. Right, so again, as you go for the higher quality, the rendering time will get longer, so you have to kind of like balance between the quality and the rendering time. Okay, so it seems complete, and if I zoom in, this is after, and that is before. Okay, Okay, so you can see like there is more noise if we have like a lower value. Okay, and again, a lower value is good if you're still like doing a preview, but if you want to submit as part of your assignment, so maybe having this to 16 or maybe even higher value would be a good idea. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back to 3. Okay, and then we're moving on to the spread. Now, this is the spread of 1. So if I reduce this to 0, this is what I get. Okay, so kind of like really bad render. So again, I'm just going to put this spread to 1. Okay, so this is what I get. And I'm going to move on to fall off. Okay, so a fall off of 0 will give you this render. So if I increase this to maybe 100, right, I'm going to almost like empty. Okay, so maybe 10. Okay, so a little bit of shadow, right? 1, and I get something like this. Okay, so you kind of need to balance out the shadow that is happening in your scene. Okay, this fall off may change depending on how big is the kitchen set. Okay, so maybe in this stage, 0 is a good choice for me. Okay, maybe we can go for 0.1 and let's see what happens. Yeah, 0.1 is not bad. Okay, now one other thing is that if you have an object that require you to be rendering in smooth mode, you need to press 3. Okay, as you can see, like if I look at this torus around here, it's kind of still blocky, right? So if you want this torus to be rendered like nice and smoothly, don't forget to press 3, and then you come back, then you render your AO mode again. Okay, as you can see, like this torus is much more smoother and cleaner now. Okay, so there are objects that need to be rendered in a smooth mode preview. Okay, now one other thing that you have to keep in mind, each assignment will have a different requirement. Okay, in my CA1, right, you're required to render under certain resolution, which I think it was HD 720. Okay, so make sure you have the resolution set up correctly. Okay, so the way we do it is that we go to this button here. So this will open up a render setting. Okay, so make sure this is set to Arnold because we are going to be using Arnold as our primary engine. And if you scroll down a little bit, right, there is this thing called resolution or image size. Okay, right now we're set to HD 540. Okay, the assignment spec says HD 720. Okay, so do check with your assignment brief and just follow whatever they require for your rendering. Now, in this case, I'm going to be switching this to HD 720. So if I scroll down, right, and find this HD 720 and click it, right, it will give me the correct resolution for me. Right, so this is the resolution that I'm looking for. Okay, so once I'm happy with that, I'm going to close, right, and I'm going to render again. Okay, and now this will give you a better, or rather a correct resolution to be submitted. Now, in a case where the noise are still happening, there is one more setting that you might want to try. So if I go back to the render setting and go to the Arnold renderer, right, this is also an option that you can use to improve your quality of the rendering. Okay, maybe for now, right, we don't touch all these yet, except for maybe this one. Okay, so again, the rules is the higher the value, the better the quality of the rendering is. But again, the time taken to render may also be longer. Okay, so maybe for the submission, you might want to increase this to 16. Okay, depending on how fast is your computers and the quality of the render, you can go back here and render again. Okay, so this will eliminate the corner that is happening. Usually, it will become more sharp. Okay, and once you finish with that, right, you can close it and then render again, then save the picture. Now, I usually save the picture or the image in this folder. So whatever the project name is, right, and then go to image and then type your file name with your ID and your name. Okay, then that's how you complete your CA1.